Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Hope and Heart podcast. My name is Jen,
And my name is Kim.
and today our conversation is going to be about the art of letting go and moving on. According to the internet, letting go means to stop holding or gripping from something or someone, right? I think, Kim, we all know what letting go means. And it's really,
Yes,
really easy to say, but it is very hard to do. What are your thoughts about it?
that is actually true. So I think that like being aware of the thing or that someone that
Mm.
you are holding on to and realizing that you have something that you have to let go of, right? So I can give a prime example. I remember in the
Mm.
past, I was
Yeah.
talking to someone, right? And it wasn't going good. I had to let go. It was hard, but I had to let go. And there was a specific gift that this person gave me. Nice, fancy gift, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Never wore it again. Before I put it up in whatever. Came across it, and then I'm like, hey, I picked it up. I'm like, this brought back memories, and they weren't good. So I was like, okay, should I keep it because it's so fancy or should I throw it away? But I'm like, oh no, it's so fancy, I want to keep it away. But then it's always that lingering thought and that lingering to the past. And I'm like, you know what? I have to let this go because it keeps bringing back those
Yeah.
specific memories. So I
Yeah.
let it go, gave it to Goodwill, and trust me, that also helped. So I was letting go of something that
Yeah.
I was holding on to. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
I didn't realize at first, but then after I became aware
Hmm.
of that certain thing that I had of that reminded me of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess we also have to talk about the the reason why you're letting
Hmm.
go is because there is that hurt, or
Yes.
there is that something that that person kind
Hmm.
of, I don't know, it like kind of woke you up, the
Yeah.
fact that I don't know why you did that. You
Hmm.
know, like there are certain situations where I believe that if you don't truly love the person,
Hmm.
it's kind of easier for you to let go and move on.
Right. It's so true.
And as cheesy as that sounds, I feel like if you are trying to move on, you have to be 100% ready, right? You
Exactly.
have to be 100% ready because,
Hmm.
as you were saying, you were trying to let go, but I guess you weren't 100% ready because you kept something. You kept
Exactly.
something. Yeah. And then
Exactly.
there's this quote that I found a while ago, and it says here, at some point, you will realize that you have done too much for someone, that the
Hmm.
only next possible step to do is to stop.
Yeah.
What can you say about that? I think we are lagging there. So, did you hear
Yeah.
my last message?
No, I
So
didn't.
it says here, at some point you will realize that you have done too much for someone, that the only
Hmm.
next possible step to do is to stop. Leave them alone, walk away. It's
Hmm.
not like you're giving up. It's not like you shouldn't try. It's just
Right.
that you have to draw the line of
Exactly.
determination from desperation.
Right.
What is
Ooh.
truly yours will eventually be yours, and what is not, no matter how hard you try, will never be.
Wow. That is powerful.
I wish there was a name here, but it says here unknown. But
Unknown.
isn't
Whoa.
isn't that like mind blowing?
It's
Mind
so
blowing
true.
even, because it says if you have done everything in your power, or
Hmm.
even like with prayer and this and that, because I believe with letting go is
Yeah.
because that person is not willing to change, or that person is not willing to accept the fact that he or she needs to compromise or
Hmm.
actually fix that gap or that problem
Right.
of some sort with you. Then you have to draw the line. It's very, I don't want to advise it, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like we have to talk about it.
It.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
You want to add to that?
That's so true. And like I like that quote because it brings like self-empowerment, right? Even though it may seem hard to do, like that is such a powerful thing to
Yeah.
walk away from the problem. You know what I'm saying? And like, trust me, like I know we talked about it from before. There's something called delete. There's something called block. You know,
Yeah.
like there, those things are possible, and it's hard because you know when there's um quantity,
Mm.
right? Like a lot of years into this thing. Like I'm talking about 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, right? That you put and invest your time into a certain thing or a certain someone.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you're like, but why? Like, you know, you still want to hold on to that thing. But trust me, if
Mm-hmm.
it's poisonous, you have to remove yourself. You have to let go. You have to move on. And it's hard to do, right? It takes a step. There's a lot of process to like moving on, and
Yeah.
you know, and I think in that time too you need to focus on yourself,
Mm.
right? A lot of times when people like are, should I say, like relationship wise,
Yeah.
um yeah, like they come out of it and they go quickly right into one without healing.
That I don't understand. Then
Yeah,
they're only hurting themselves.
hurting themselves and hurting the other person as well, right? So you have to focus on yourself, you know, focus on self-care, work on yourself, right? Before you try to move on kind of
Yeah.
thing with
And that's the
something
thing.
or
Yeah.
someone else. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's the
exactly.
thing because with this moving on and letting go, the big word is going to be change. And change is never, ever, ever easy.
No.
Never easy. Right. And
Mm-mm.
like you could overanalyze things and you could spend hours and hours to like question your situation or question yourself, you
Right.
know, like why did this happen, why am I in this situation in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes we gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself,
So it's so true. Yes.
right?
Preach, girl.
And the process of letting go,
Mm-hmm.
it is possible, or I think it is a must that
It,
you have to understand that if you let go, you are going to lose things. But at the same
yes.
time, or things or people, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's a next step for you to find yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to find clarity, to find yourself. Have you ever had a situation where you let go of that someone or that pain, and then
Yeah.
it's like a huge burden or a huge rock off your back
Off your
or
shoulder.
something, yeah, or
Yeah.
your chest, and it's just like,
Yeah.
what? That's how easy it is.
Right.
But it
Exactly.
took time, right? But at the same time, the way you felt was just priceless. The way you felt was just like, boy, bye.
Hmm. Boy, bye.
Boy, bye, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Exactly. So I can give another example. Like, I had a long friendship with a certain individual, and things just kind of went out of hand, right?
mm,
Where it had to just drop, and I was the saddest person in the world. And I
mhm.
kept saying over and over, is this the right thing to do? Is this the right thing to do? Please. And I prayed,
Overanalyze it too.
yes. And I
Yeah.
prayed about it. I'm like, God, is this the right thing to do? But I don't want to. We've been friends for like 12 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Remember what I was saying, like
Mhm.
quality, quantity? Yeah. And I'm like, I can't do this, you know? And it was just a battle. It was
Yeah.
a battle saying yes or no. And I
Mm,
knew the answer already. It's just I was going against the answer. And it just hurt
yeah.
me even more, right?
Yeah.
So that was such a hard thing to do. But I kind of did the same: delete, block, and move on. As hard as it is, you're right. Once it's like in your head, you just like say, okay, I have to do this for my sake.
Hmm. And if they're not helping you, if they're not helping you progress in life, it's just what's bound to
Yeah.
happen. And according to this article, by Steve Maraboli, I'm gonna just throw in quotes here and there. The
Yeah,
truth
no
is,
problem.
unless you let go, unless you forgive yourself, unless you forgive the situation, unless you realize that the situation is over, then you cannot move forward. How
Mm-hmm.
crazy is that? It's like,
That is crazy.
yeah, like we were having this conversation from our last one. We were
Mm-hmm.
saying about forgiving yourself, right? Because if you
Yes.
let the other person control your atmosphere, control
Yeah.
like the way you feel and think,
Yes.
then it's not going to be good for you in the long run.
Mm-mm.
And the self-care and self-love connects to this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. And just focusing on like what makes you happy. If that certain
I like
thing or that certain someone does not make you happy, you have
that.
to move on for your sanity or for your mental health.
Yeah.
Right?
But then
Mm-hmm.
Kim, I'll be like, but he makes me happy sometimes.
Right, exactly.
Or
You
she.
said okay, right,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, but the key word is sometimes,
Mm.
right? Like
Like
obviously
I still want to hold on. I'm okay getting hurt, but at the same time, you know?
yeah, are yeah, no, and that's the thing cuz we keep like trying to focus on the things that are like positive, but really like it's like in a negative situation but trying to see the things that are positive when it really isn't kind of thing. You get what I mean? So
It's
like
self-sabotage, that's what it
yeah,
is.
there you go. Yeah, exactly. So why would you want to do that to yourself though? Why do you have to
Mm.
justify it and like act on it like thinking that everything is all good when it's not,
I like my
right?
girl here. My girl here
Hmm.
has a quote for
Yeah.
us. In order to be free, we must learn how to let go, release the hurt,
Yes.
release the fear, refuse to entertain the old pain.
Mm-hmm.
By
That's a
Mary
big one.
Morrissey.
That's a big one.
That's the thing. If we
Yeah.
refuse to if we refuse to stop dwelling on the past,
Mm-hmm.
then we won't be able to let go. Because based on my experience, I have hurt a dozen times. Different intensity though. Different
Exactly.
intensities,
Mm-hmm.
right? Different intensities, and I think the way you deal with this is different from the people that hurt you.
Yeah.
Like it depends, right? Like for example, if it's just someone like your acquaintance, or like someone you're just a colleague, or a
Yeah.
friend, close friend, best friend, or the list goes
Right.
on.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. We have to release the hurt, release the fear. Very easier said than done. But I think my advice is to follow this person, this wise person, because we have to
Very wise.
refuse to entertain the old pain, because
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you like dig deep into, oh my god, but he did it and did this. I remember he was
Yeah.
trying, a person is trying to change,
Mm-hmm.
but you are kind of taking that away,
Yeah.
you know but this is also kind of important to talk about, because also with letting go and moving on, maybe
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you kind of want to give them a chance. We're not
Yes.
saying let go right away. Let go right
No,
away.
no, no, no.
You have to also give chances and forgive, right?
Right.
Because God said, I've forgiven you 7,700, like
Yeah.
very huge amount and very generous.
Exactly.
And who are we not to
To-
forgive? you know
Exactly.
and with the forgiveness, it's either you decide to
Mm-hmm.
keep them or to let them go, because
Exactly.
you also have to forgive
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and at the same time forgive others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like, and to add on to your last point that you just made,
Mm.
sometimes like I want to put it like in a reverse. Like, what if it's you that's the one that someone is holding on to you?
Mm.
You get what I mean? Like, what if you are the one that they're stuck on? what are you doing? Do you get what I mean? Where I'm trying to
Yeah.
get to it? It's like reversing it. Like what if that person is like, what are you doing to make that person stuck on you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
no, I'm
Deceiving
just asking.
them. Oh
Huh?
no.
Sorry. What did you say?
Deceiving them.
Yeah. And without even knowing it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not
So like
cool.
exactly. So like yeah, it's very like okay, so just to tie it in, like it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um and like being a part of like something that that had to do with moving on, like it is gonna take a
Mm-hmm.
long time. For me it took a long time, a
Mm-hmm.
very long time, but it
Mm-hmm.
happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you're so right, like it's like forgiving yourself, forgiving that person and yourself as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when it relates to friends, you were right a while ago. Quality versus quantity. You
Yeah,
want quality friends, right? And this is why you
that's
need them,
true.
because someone could be listening to your cries right now, and it's very important to release that, because as we let go, it's a very bold move. And then I think Kim is lagging on this side, but
Yeah, I know, same here.
I want to kind of put this in a positive note where
Mm-hmm.
um, we have to have an open communication with
Mm-hmm.
that person first, and kind of tell them, like, hey, I am not liking this. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like the way how I feel. It's just, if I hold on to you, I will hold
Mm-hmm.
on to the pain. And sometimes it's really hard to say it face to face,
Yeah.
to get that closure. You know what I mean? But eventually, as you wake up each day, hopefully you're gonna get used to them not being there,
Mm-hmm.
them not messaging you, checking up on you, or you checking
Yes.
up on
On
them,
them. Mm-hmm.
you know, because it says here, getting over a painful experience is much like crossing the monkey bars.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let go at some point in order to move forward, you know?
Yep.
So with the effect of letting go
Mm-hmm.
is moving on.
Yeah. Moving
And
forward.
you have to be willing for the change.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to talk it out. You have to be willing to forgive. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to forget, because you could say I've forgiven you, but in your head,
Yeah, you still remember.
I
Mm-hmm.
haven't forgotten what happened, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't forgotten this and that. I'm going to give you a chance, but I'm not going to forget the fact that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then
So,
when you keep dwelling on that,
mhm,
there's no change. Like there's no, you're not moving up. Like it's just like you're stuck,
mhm,
right? So it's like, what's the point of actually being there? You get what I
mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna dwell in the past, as you said, it makes no sense. It's better that you move on and stop making yourself so miserable, right? And
Yeah.
stop
So,
feeding into that pain. Yeah.
yeah. What's your advice when it comes to like biblically dealing with it?
Well, for like, I can give an example. For me,
Yeah.
I had to do prayer.
Mhm.
It's definitely prayer and asking, like, take away anything that is not of you, God. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, help me to forget, help me to forgive, help me to wish this person well, wholeheartedly, right? And
Wow.
not to be negative, because it was affecting my mood.
Mm.
And then it's like you're taking it out on other people.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with that comes prayer for wisdom,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
prayer for acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
prayer for um what is it? Like, you don't, oh yeah, acceptance, because
Yeah.
I feel like it's easier to deny it. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that I don't want to talk about it. It's easier
Yeah.
to just walk away,
Yeah.
without fixing, or without walking
Right.
away. What do you call this? Walking away, as in with peace.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. Because when
because
it's the right thing, you will get the peace in your heart. Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Exactly. And
It's like
yeah.
sharing. Yeah, it's like sharing my heart to just like anyone, and I love it. I
Yeah.
hope that it inspires someone. You know,
Yeah.
go
Exactly.
ahead.
No, and also one thing that you should pray about is clarity.
Mm,
Clarity is like, you know what I'm saying, is like what you need. Because if you are going into a prayer and you're like, okay, I need to know this, I need to know that. Please, Lord, let me know. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Right? You
mhm.
need to have ask for that clarity. And it will be given to you, right? You just have to have that faith, and when it's given to you, you have to go and
Grasp
do
it.
what you have to do. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yes. Man, I love that. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you gain clarity and that we helped you. You know, this is your community. We want to build community with you. Yeah, Kim and I, we wanted to start this in a way to just like embrace other people's perspectives and also
Yeah.
improve ourselves
Mm-hmm.
in terms of self development, self care. You know, and yeah, we'll
Thanks,
see you.
guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Kim.
No, I'm saying thanks, guys.
Yes, and we'll see you again next week. Take care, guys. God
Awesome.
bless.
Bye.